Hey everyone, I'm out here today. I'm going to show you the best ways to load up and strap the boat down for transportation. Now there's three methods. One, most easiest, is definitely having a pickup truck. Next would be a small trailer, and then we have a cargo carrier or wheelchair carrier. I'm going to show you all three. I'm going to show you the best ways to strap the boat down. It's a really old skiff. I got some new ones I'm going to show you in a second, but anyway, the Ultraskiff's greatest. Got these things, we call them strap guides, and that's these notches here around the gunnel. You see they're deep here, you know, looks like about 2.5 inches deep. There's 1, 2, 3, 6 of these notches, and then there's the two main notches, which are on the front and the back. This is the front one. It's really deep right here, and it's got these, as you can see, the toe rings down there, so that's great. And then on the bottom we have the lowered transom. It's a huge 3.5 inch groove right there at the bottom. So we're going to utilize all that, and then of course, sorry, the center hole right here that I can fit my whole hand through. You know, all 9, and then the toe ring 10. So there's 10 grooves, holes in the boat that and I tell you what, you utilize all of them. You're gonna see every single one of them utilized probably in this video. I'll try to make it as fast as possible. Real quick, I'm just gonna load it up into the back of the pickup. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me do this before. I just come down here, I lift it up, push it up onto the bed as much as I can. I come down here to either side, I lift up on it, and then I kind of roll it over the side of the truck. And then that's it. You can just close the door at this point. Me, I get OCD, and I usually like to straighten it out by just grabbing the bow handle here and having it straight with the skegs underneath the boat. And then I push it back, and that's usually how I do it. Now, if I'm just traveling around, you know, in my town, I don't usually strap it down. But if I'm going on the highway, or I know I'm going fast, I'm gonna run a strap through it. And the best way to do it is to just come on up here, drop that strap right through the center hole, reach down, grab it, hook it back, tighten it, and you're good to go. You want to be extra careful. You want to put more than one strap in, definitely. You can even go over the top from one of the notches here on the strap guide over, but right through the center hole. Best way, most secure way, and easiest way to do it. You ever want to lock the boat in your truck? Best way to do it there too. Run a cable through the center hole, padlock it to one of the hooks on your truck bed or your trailer, and there you go. No one's going to be taking that, because in order to take that, they'd either have to cut through the cable, the lock, or saw through the entire boat. Now, I usually leave my truck, I usually leave my Ultraskiff in the back of my truck 24/7. It's always there. I go to work, I come back, I go out, it's always there. Rain really isn't an issue. You know, if it rains, you're gonna get some water in the rod holders and cup holders, and in the compartments you're gonna get some water, but after you take it out, you have to tilt it up anyway after you take it out, and then it instantly just falls out. But there's an easy way to prevent that. You don't have to keep a cover on the boat. All you have to do is just put the boat in upside down. So I got this camera in the way, so I just do the opposite. Bring the boat like this, lift it up, do the same thing, come over to the side, and then throw it in. And same thing, you can just run a strap right through the center hole and lock her down. When the boat's in the truck, this little cave right here, this is usually where I start putting stuff. Put my motor down there, flip my seat, accessories down there, whatever I need to do. Now for putting the boat upright, if you're just doing one boat, Why would you put it upright? Well, it is going to give you a lot more room and storage on each side of the boat. I'll show you really quick. Same thing, you just put the boat in the way you normally would, and then you would just lift it up just like this. Whenever I go vertical like this, you're going to want 2 straps. You're going to want to put each one of those straps right here through the center hole. There's 1, there's 2. Come around here and grab them. Hook them to the corresponding hooks. And then strap them down. When you're strapping these things down, you're using ratchet straps. I always like to remind people, hey, the boat's plastic, you know. You don't want to. You want to do it to where it's tight. But you don't. You know, there's such power in these ratchet straps. You don't want to just keep cranking to where you're gonna possibly bend the plastic or damage the boat in any way. I've never seen that happen, but you want to be mindful that, you know, you don't need it too tight. You want tight enough to secure the boat, and that's perfect. Now for putting 2 boats vertical like this, I like to put them back to back, and getting the second boat in is not that hard now that I figured out a great method. You just put the second boat on there, keep the transom facing whichever way, opposite way of whatever boat is currently in there. You push up on the center hole and then push it right in. We actually have a video about that from start to finish. It shows me unloading and then loading and strapping in 2 boats in the bed of a pickup truck. You can watch that video on our YouTube channel or our website. All right, let's get this thing out and let's move on to the trailer. Okay, well, it's time for the trailer. This is the little Harbor Freight utility trailer. Super small little kit trailer. Held up great. She's 4 years old now. All right, we're gonna bring this thing on here. What I do is I just get the boat positioned right about here. You'll see that I put these life preservers right here over the wheel wells. And that's really what the boat sits on. It's nice and soft. And they're very inexpensive. And I just bungee them to the frame of the trailer. Bring it up here, and then I just slide it on up. Just like that. Now we're going to strap it down. This is where I use those really deep front and back strap guides on the Ultraskiff. I come down here. And I go right here through the transom, through the notch, front notch on the tow ring right here. And then I come around and I strap her into any of the holes down here, just like that. All right, and then in the second strap, same thing. Come down here, hook it on. Come down here, find a front hook. And then when you have them both hooked, you just tighten them and then ratchet. Go as tight as you want here. And that's really secure. This is how I've been transporting the boat since day one. Does a fantastic job through the front and back strap guides here. Well, I might as well show you 2 boats since I'm here. Okay, what I do here is I hop up into the skiff. like so. And then I position it like here. I use the angled inner hull of the hull for leverage here on my foot, and then I just pull her on up, just like that. And then I slide it, come back a little bit, scoot her back a bit more, come off the trailer. They stack really nice on top of one another, and then I strap her down. These straps are a bit longer than those orange ones. Come down here, find a hook, or just go against the frame here. I'm just going through this square part in the frame right there. Same thing, I'm coming up from the back, going through the transom, coming up through the front toe ring again. Finding a hook on the front frame. Pull on the strap and tighten her down. Same thing as the bottom skiff, going 2 straps on this. Going through this little opening on the square of the frame here. Coming up, going down. Finding a hook somewhere on these holes. Tighten her down all you want, and there you go. That there is very secure. I've actually driven across the country like this, and they ain't going anywhere. And that's the best way to strap 2 of them down on a little trailer. Okay, now we're going to look at the aluminum wheelchair carrier here. Had this guy for maybe about 1.5 years now. This is the Harbor Freight wheelchair carrier. It's made of aluminum. All I did was I bought these very inexpensive magnetic trailer lights here, and I just zip tied up to the frame of the wheelchair carrier. Normally I will also bolt my license plate right here, and then I just run the lights with some zip ties and some wires here to go right into the light package on the truck. But I just put this guy in there. Best part about the wheelchair carrier is definitely the ramp to roll the boat onto. To make it easier, these come with bolts that bolt on there, but I replace them with small cotter pins like this, and that makes the removal of the ramp a lot easier. Because I like to remove the ramp completely when I'm traveling. Now before you put the boat on the cargo carrier, I'll give you a little tip here. I like to put down a little mat. You can put down a piece of cardboard, just something like that. The reason I like to do that is you don't always roll the boat perfectly on there to where the transom is facing down. Then you have to do the slide where you pull it and slide it up. And I notice sometimes the frame here and these bolts that stick out sometimes can scratch the boat up. So let's get this thing on here. So you see here the boat's upside down. So this is when I have to come down here and give it a little slide. There we go. This wheelchair carrier has these nice O-rings right there, so I don't have to actually hook right to the frame. And it's pretty simple. Go right through the center hole of the boat here. And the second one. Same thing through the center hole. Down here and grab it. Throw it on. And there we go. Now, is this enough? I get a lot of people that ask me, that cargo carrier doesn't look like it's really that safe. You know, it looks like the wind would catch the top of it. It's pretty aerodynamic, but you got a good point. I haven't had a mishap, and I don't ever want to have one. And if I'm just going locally in my neighborhood, I travel like this. But if I'm going on the highway, I put a third strap on. I call this the auxiliary strap. Definitely recommend that people do this. If you don't have a truck bed, I imagine you could put it onto the two corners of a roof rack, or maybe down on the trailer hitch of your car would probably work too. Now you notice that there is a bit of wobble. That's very common in these cargo carriers, but you can get rid of that wobble right here. This is a Retech hitch tightener, and it's just a bolt that goes over with a bracket underneath that you tighten down, and it gets rid of that wobble. They're really inexpensive, around $10 on Amazon. Definitely look into one of them. But if you do the auxiliary strap, it gets rid of the wobble as well. So I'm going to show you that right now. How I do mine is, since I have a truck, I grab one end of the loose strap and I come up and I put it through the tow ring of the boat up here at the top, just like that. Hook that onto the one of the hooks right there. Come around here, do the same thing here. And then I tighten her down. And you'll notice when I'm tightening the auxiliary strap, it's kind of pushing the boat this way. You can go as far as you want, really. It's actually lifting the entire hitch carrier up. And as you can see, it's really tight now. A lot less wobble on the cargo carrier as well, like that. Whenever you want to secure the boat, these are my favorite type of cables right here from Master Lock. And I just run those cables right through the center hole. You can put it down to the frame of your car, trailer hitch, connect it to the cargo carrier or your trailer, or outside in your yard, whatever you wanted to do. That just about covers everything except for a car topping, which you know, it's not something I really recommend. If you do it, you got to do it right. You definitely want a Thule roof rack, something with the big wide beam bars on the roof rack, heavy duty. And getting it up on that roof rack by yourself, the boat's 123 pounds. It's not going to be easy unless you have like a little car, you know, or a sedan, which I've done by myself many times. But what I would do is I put a moving blanket over the trunk, and then I would put the skiff on there and slide it up, because as I was doing it without the moving blanket, the skegs on the bottom of the skiff were denting the trunk. So, you know, she's 123 pounds. You don't want to just be throwing this thing against your car, your SUV, and pushing it up. You're probably going to do some damage, unless you don't care about your car. That's one thing. But if you do it and you get it on the roof rack, you're going to want to put at least 4 straps through the center hole, each strap on each corner of that roof rack tied securely so they don't slide anywhere. Okay, you don't want sliding of any of these straps if you're going to put it on the roof rack. Go through the center hole and then bring that hook right back and tie it again on that corner, and then ratchet it down tight on all 4 corners so each corner is pulling on that boat. It's boat's round, so if you try to go over the top of the strap and don't go through the center hole, it's just going to wiggle out of it and fall off your vehicle. Don't want that to happen. I would even go as far as to say 6 straps or even 8 straps. You can't have too many. You definitely want to be safe out there on the road. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Anybody ever has any questions, just email me at info@ultraskiff.com. Check out our website at www.ultraskiff.com. Thanks a lot, and as always, tight lines.